Some of you guys are making a big mistake and walking straight into a bear trap. Let me explain. Guys, welcome to the Mr. Bubbles channel where we dish out awesome pressure washing business advice to beginners. I got an awesome episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about a big mistake. It's a trend that I see happening in the industry. I want to talk to you guys about it, how to avoid it. I'm going to give you some actionable steps how to do that. Now, before we get into today's episode, I wanted to get this announcement out of my way. Guys, today is Sunday. This is episode 200. Today is the absolute last day that you have to get your free business in a box. The Mr. Bubbles business in a box. It's a free giveaway that we've been doing pretty much all week. Remember, this business in a box has over 500 files. It's an actual USB drive that we sent to you in the physical mail. And guys, this has over 300 before and after pictures, some of the best pictures we've ever taken here at Mr. Bubbles. You can use these in all of your social medias, your website, your Facebook, your Google My Business. And guess what, guys? Guess what? The best part, this business in a box also has all of my blueprints I've ever created, including a bunch of marketing materials and even some training modules for you guys that are new to the industry. So highly recommend that. Now, in order to get or qualify for your free Mr. Bubbles business in a box, it's real simple. All you have to do is join the membership here on the channel, the Mr. Bubbles membership. If you look underneath this video here, guys, you're going to see a join button. This is something through YouTube itself. It's $5 a month for the membership, guys. I mean, what are we even talking about? That $5 is essentially your tuition to the Mr. Bubbles Academy because really, guys, we are a virtual trade school, a power washing academy where we teach you everything from, how to build your rig, how to get customers, how to develop systems in your company. So make sure you sign up for that, guys, because again, you're getting an awesome value because the Mr. Bubbles business in a box is worth $200. If you do the math on that, that's 3 years of your subscription there to the membership. So highly recommend that, guys. That's a no-brainer. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode, guys. So I've noticed in the last, I would say 8 months or so, a very alarming trend. And the trend is this. A lot of you guys out there who are new to the industry, you are way too focused on having like the creme de la creme equipment. You think that's going to make a big difference for you out there. And guys, when you're new to the industry, I cannot stress this enough. There's been multiple videos where I've discussed this topic. You need to start with a bare bones rig. Okay, I've actually done 2 rig builds here on my channel. I did a trailer build rig and I did a truck build rig. Both of those were rigs that were built with under $5,000. So I recommend you go back and you watch that and you pick one of those systems out for yourself, order the equipment little by little and build those systems. You do not, guys, when you're brand new to the industry, you do not want to be using expensive systems out there because you don't know yet how to use those systems. And for some reason, for whatever that is, you're under the impression that the guys, maybe the guys in your area that you're seeing, that the reason why they make more money than you or that they're more successful than you is because of their equipment. And guys, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. What makes someone make a lot of money in this business is the knowledge, it's the skill sets that they acquire through the year. Because like I'll give you guys a great example. One of you guys emailed me a couple days ago talking about that, you're buying a, what is that thing called? A drone to wash houses and to wash solar panels. Wow. Like I can't even begin to tell you how bad of an idea that is. And also it's someone that doesn't really understand anything about the industry because what they should be doing is learning how to downstream. I talk about this all the time on my video. You guys who are new, first thing that you need to master is learning how to downstream. And you should only, as a new person, be focused on two different services, which is house washing, concrete cleaning. Master those first, and then you go on from there. Because, guys, when you don't have the experience yet, having really nice equipment is not going to help you. Like, for example, let's say you've never washed a house before, and I give you my $25,000 rig. What are you going to do with it? Like, what do you think you're going to do with it? The two things that you're going to do with it is this. One, you're going to ruin my equipment because you don't know anything about it. You don't know how to maintain it. And then two, you're going to destroy people's things. You're going to, for example, you'll kill plants or damage people's homes because you don't know anything yet about home and plant protection. Okay. So my suggestion to you first is grow your business first. I say this all the time. It's one of the mottos of the channel. Grow your business before you grow your equipment. You do not need a $20,000, $30,000 house washing system, rig system, in order for you to make a lot of money in this business. And I liken it to this, guys. You guys remember when you got your first car? You know, think back to when you got your first car. And I don't mean like the first car that you learned how to drive. That might have been somebody else's car. Your first car was probably a beater. Am I right, guys? Like, it was probably like a really crappy car that just got you through your first few months of driving or first few years of driving, if you were lucky. My first car was a Ford Escort. It had 289,000 miles on it, guys. 289,000. Then I got my mom's old Pacer after that. That was another really crappy car. And then after that, I got oh my God, what is that called? I took that car to like 389 or 300, like right around 400,000 miles. What is that thing called? They don't even make them anymore. But it was like one of these Hondas. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, the point being is, as you mature more in your driving experience, your cars, they keep getting better and better and better to the point, now where a lot of you guys out there, you have a lot of nice cars, but that's your 30th car or your 40th car or your 25th car. The point being is, it's the same out here in the industry, because you want to start out with a system that is not too expensive. You're going to beat that system up. Guys, you're going to ruin your first pump. You are going to absolutely nuke your first equipment because, again, you don't know yet all of the maintenance stuff that you need in order to keep your equipment running properly. So you want to make those mistakes with a $2,000 rig, a $3,000 rig. And then the other thing about that is this, guys, like, you need to make sure first that you have a constant stream of cash flow coming into your business before you get these expensive systems. Because I've often have said this on the channel, guys, I see it all the time here in my area. Of course, I am in a DMV area. DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. So when I go on Facebook, I see a lot of these really expensive rigs that are being sold for 50% the cost, because, again, somebody thought that, all I need is this really nice equipment and I'm going to make all this money. That couldn't be further from the truth. So now that I got that out of the way, I'm introducing to you guys something that I've created that is going to absolutely help you in this journey to be able to assess what it is that you need to focus on. And I'm going to put it up here on the screen for you guys. What you guys are looking at is something that I just created this week. It's called the Power Wash Matrix. If you guys see on the right there, Power Wash Matrix. But if you look on the left, this is your SOMA challenge. Remember, SOMA stands for S, sales, O, operations, M, marketing, A, administration. So if you look here on the right, okay, now that you guys that are out there driving and listening to me, once you get home, make sure you rewatch this video, because this is one of those that you have to pay attention here. Get some paper out, and I'm going to show you guys how to use the Power Wash Matrix. This is something that I created for you guys, our Mr. Bubbles community. Again, it's an assessment tool for you to be able to evaluate, your skill sets, your weaknesses, your strengths, and what your money potential capability is, for, depending on your skill set. So anyway, let's jump back into this. So the Power Wash Matrix here, guys, if you see underneath here where it says S, and it's got 0 to 10 points, O 0 to 10 points, M 0 to 10 points, and A 0 to 10 points. This is how this works. Now, you're going to be very realistic and transparent with yourself, and you're going to grade yourself on each one of these things, right? Sales, operations, marketing, and administration. And you're going to grade them on 0, like you don't know anything about it, and 10, you're the master, the absolute master of that thing, and then you're going to add up that score. So when we're talking about sales, okay, you're going to grade yourself from 0 to 10 on how good, how awesome you are at selling. Like, for example, do you have a sales pitch that you've been practicing for a while? Do you have a door-to-door marketing system for your company set up? Do you know about the 4 factors of impulse? Now, if you don't, that's okay. Go back and you watch my episode 52. I did a marketing series, which was actually episodes 51 to 59. In the second one, which was episode 52, I broke down for you guys like selling, and we talked about the 4 factors of impulse. So if you guys are feeling comfortable with that, like you have a sales background, for example, you might be able to give yourself, 8 or a 9 or a 10 out of the possible 10 being the best. In operations, what am I talking about? Guys, I'm talking specifically about systems. Like, for example, when we're talking about mastering operations, do you have a house washing system? Do you have a concrete cleaning system, patio cleaning system, a deck? Like when you go do a composite deck, it's different than doing a wooden deck. Do you have a system for how you pressure wash wood? Do you have a system? How you answer the phone, for example, customer service is part of that, right? Are you showing up to people's home on time? Are you friendly with people? Are you doing quality work out there? These are all different systems. If you guys watch all my house washing videos, I show you guys that we actually have a house washing system where we do every single house that we go to, we do the exact same procedures. That's what I'm talking about. So, when you're grading yourself operationally, also, how much do you know about equipment maintenance? Do you know how to winterize your equipment? Do you know how to do oil changes? Do you know how to troubleshoot certain things? Do you know how to troubleshoot your rig? Did you build your own rig, or did you buy a rig? Do you even know how your rig works? Grade yourself on a scale from 0 to 10. Okay, marketing. Okay, the fundamental question of marketing is, how good are you at getting customers? Are you consistently able to get for yourself, I would say, at least 15 customers a week? 15 customers a week is 60 customers a month. Okay, 60 customers a month, that's 25 grand. If you're consistently getting 15 customers a week, and you're making $25,000 a month, and you have multiple forms of marketing in your company, like you're not just relying on one form of marketing, like a lot of you guys love yard signs. Do you have 8, 9, 10, 11 different forms of marketing? And are you very consistent? Or are you the opposite? Like, for example, one week you'll have 10 customers, then next week you'll have 1, then the next week you'll have 18, then the next week you'll have 2. That means there's something that you're lacking when it comes to marketing, okay? And finally, administration, okay? For example, are you sending out receipts on time? Are you sending people service agreement? Or you like some knucklehead just showing up to people's houses without, having a written agreement of what it is that we're doing? That's a big mistake. I would not do that. Make sure you're sending out service agreements, your receipts. Part of administration is the onboarding process. Do you have a CRM, a program software that runs that for you? The one that we recommend, again, I'll put it up here for you guys, Jobber. And actually, I'll put up the link here for you as well, for you guys, or you can also get it in the description. Mr. Bubbles link for you guys to get a promotion with that. So the one that we use here, Mr. Bubbles, and the one that we recommend with that is, again, Jobber. Okay, so are you using an effective CRM program? And then the last thing I'll say about administration is pricing. We talk about this a lot. A lot of you guys are goofing up on your pricing. Actually, a lot of you guys have this sort of idea in your head that because you're new, you should charge less because you think, oh, that's going to give me some kind of competitive edge. It's doing the opposite of that. It's ruining your business. And also you are damaging the industry when you're doing that. You guys get that? Because think about this logically, guys. You go do a house for $150. Then 2 years later, you're going to want to charge that person $350. What do you think that person's going to tell you? Yeah, you're going to get bounced. They're going to tell you to go away, and they're going to look for somebody else cheaper than you. You want to make sure that your pricing is competitive. That's why I tell you guys, reach out to me. I will send you the pricing PDF and stick to that. Do not lowball, because that's going to cause a lot of damages in your administration. You're not going to be able to have enough money to grow your business and all of that. So anyway, so back to our power wash matrix, okay? So once you've added all of that up, and by the way, I'm going to use myself as a guinea pig here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So in sales, I give myself a 10. Now, I've been doing this for a long time. I wasn't always a 10. I've learned a lot of things here with this business. But also, guys, in my 20s, I was a door-to-door salesman. So I come from a sales background. So from the very beginning, I was probably a solid 7 or 8. And then I developed certain systems, selling systems. Like, for example, networking is part of sales. If you're not doing networking, that's a huge mistake right there, because you meet a lot of people in those networking events. So anyway, definitely for me, I'm a 10 when it comes to sales. Operations is another one, guys. I sucked my first 2 years, but then eventually I started developing systems, getting a lot of experience behind me. And here's the deal. If you have never done more than 100 houses, like let's say you've done 20, there's no way you're going to be above a 2. There's just absolutely no way. If you're new to the industry, just go ahead and put 2. If you've never done a house, or you've only done 8 or 9 or 10 or 15, any number under 20, just go ahead and put an automatic 2. If you've done all the way up to 100, maybe 50, 60, 70, you might be a 5 or a 6. But there's absolutely no way anyone's higher than that if you have less than 1,000 homes. If you've never done 1,000, if you have not yet washed 1,000 homes, there's no way you're an 8 or a 9 or a 10. You have to have at least 1,000 houses under your belt, because guess what, guys? If you've gone out there and washed 1,000 homes, think about how many aluminum siding you've done, how many vinyl siding, wood. You have done houses of every single surface, including stucco and you name it, hardy board. And so you already have a frame of reference in your mind of how to do things. And you've already developed that system that we're talking about, where at every single house you're going to do this and this and this and this and this, etc. So again, no one listening to this right now, you would not be a 10 if you have less than 1,000 homes, which 99.9999% of you guys do not. I would say probably out of 30-some-thousand subscribers that we have, there might be a handful of you guys that have done over 1,000 homes. So there you go. And again, if you haven't even done up to 100 homes, then just go ahead and put an automatic 2 there for you. Okay? And then, so me, in operations, I'm a 10. Why am I a 10? Because I've developed systems for myself. That's, what I teach you guys here on this channel. And then also, I have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of homes under my belt. I washed my 1,000 house in my year number 3. I'm in my year number 12. So again, and then also, that old adage in teaching people, you learn things. Well, when I started training and developing technicians, I just became so much better on the operations. And then the other thing is this, guys, I am an hour and a half away from the nearest power washing supply store, okay? I can't just drop everything I'm doing and go take up my rig somewhere for them to troubleshoot something. So I've had to problem solve a lot of my own things you guys see in my builds. Guys, I've built over 50 rigs, so I know everything on the back end in terms of maintenance, in terms of fixing equipment and doing your tune-ups and things of that nature. So again, I'm a 10 in SO operations. I'm almost a 10. Now let's go to marketing. Guys, this is my bread and butter. A lot of you guys don't know this. I don't think I've ever mentioned this before. It's what I went to school for. I graduated Towson University, and this was my major, was marketing. Marketing and advertising, that's kind of like my thing. It's my shtick. It's what I'm really, really good at. As a matter of fact, if I were to single out a single skill set that I have that is greater and above every other skill set, it's marketing. As a matter of fact, in this industry, I've created so many different marketing techniques that are specific to the industry. So, I would definitely give myself a 10. And that's why I teach you guys, and you guys can just piggyback and copy what it is that I'm doing, because it's going to succeed. Because you guys know this. Everything that I bring to you is things that I lab tested, things that I've been doing, and they have been working for me years and years and years and years. And finally, administration. I would say this is my area of weakness. And so I would give myself a 7. I give myself a 7 here. Now, I have created a lot of systems. This is something that I've gotten a little bit better at. When I first started in this industry, man, I would have probably been like a 1 or a 2. I learned a lot of things along the way about finance management, how to save my money, how to get out of debt, a lot of things from the administration. Unfortunately, I didn't start using a CRM program until my year number 5 or 6, I want to say. And then even then, I was still using a lot of spreadsheets. I was one of those, like some of you guys. I had a bunch of notepads in my car, and then I'd come home, I'd put stuff in spreadsheets. That's how I did my routes and my schedule every day, through spreadsheets. Of course, now, again, we use a CRM. I recommend Jobber. But you want to make sure that this is one of those things that if you're weak at, you focus on, just like I did through the years. I'm not a 10 on it. I'm still working on it, but I am a 7. Now, you guys see here the power wash matrix, right? And again, I'm using myself as a guinea pig. I have a calculator here. This is the important part where I need you to pay attention, okay? So now, we talked about S, sales, O, operations, M, marketing, and A, administration, SOMA, right? You're going to evaluate your strength in each one of those. Again, 0 to 10, and you're going to come up with a number. My number is 37. So what you're going to do is you're going to divide that number, 37, by 40, okay? In my case here, 37, divided by 40. That number 40 is the maximum amount of numbers, right? 10 for each one times 4, that's 40. So if I take 37, which is my number, divided by 40, I get 92.5. So let's go ahead and round that off to 93. So I'm at 93% on the power wash matrix. You guys got that? Now, if I take that down here to the cash flow chart, you guys see in the bottom left or bottom right, depending on the angle there that you're seeing. It might be on the bottom right if you're watching through your iPad or your TV. But you see there where it says cash flow chart, 90%, in my case, I'm 93, right? It says 90% plus. So if you're a 96, a 92, 91, it means that you're in that 100K plus range, okay? In my case here, guys, there's, as a company, Mr. Bubbles, we average about $89,000 a month in sales. And then during our really, really busy time, March, April, May, and June, we're, $150,000, $160,000 a month. And there's been a total of 3 different times where we made over $200,000 in a month during those months. So $100,000 a year for us these days, it's absolutely nothing. I was already making that by year number 4 for me. I was already making 100,000 plus. But this gives you a good idea where you can track exactly what your money making potential would be. Now, let's go ahead and use one of you guys as an example. Okay, I got my calculator here. Let's say, for example, you come from a sales background, right? So you used to sell cars or boats, or now you're in real estate and you decided to jump into pressure washing. Now, you need to accommodate some of your things to, to learn some of the things specific to the industry. It's different selling pressure washing jobs and selling homes. It's going to be 2 completely different things. You do need to learn. There's going to be a transition there. And again, I would highly recommend you guys learn the 4 factors impulse, because I use them a lot when I'm out there selling. And by the way, an effective closing rate here in the industry is 40 to 60%. If you're selling and closing 80, 90% of your clients, it's probably because your pricing is way too low. So, if you're charging $100 to wash a house, you're going to sell everybody you come across. You're doing something wrong. You need to be in that $299 to $375 range per house wash. And then you're going to see that drop down to 45%. The last that I looked at it, we were like 43%. So what does that mean? Out of 10 people that call us, we're able to really sell to about 4, sometimes 5 of them. Okay. So to give you guys a good idea of what a good close rate is for the industry, that's a national average for the industry. But anyway, so let's say you do come from a sales background and you give yourself a 7. Okay. So 7. Now, let's say you've been out in the field for 8-9 months and you've done 250 homes and you're starting to get kind of comfortable and you've developed a lot of the systems that we've talked about. So let's say, you're not a 10 yet, but let's say you're a solid 8. Let's give you an 8. Now, let's give you an 8. So 7 and 8. Now, we move on to marketing. Now, let's say in marketing, this is something where you're sort of up and down, sometimes stretches of like 10-day stretch where you don't have a single client. You get calls, but they never go anywhere. And then all of a sudden you're slammed. You have a week where you have 15, 16 customers. So you're that up and down sort of business, right? So let's give yourself a marketing there. Let's say 5, okay? Just throw a number out there. So right now I'm at 20, okay? And we still have administration, but let's say you used to be a bean counter, you know a lot about accounting, and you know a lot about finance management, and you're really good at administration. So you know the importance of it. You already have a CRM program. You spent months researching all of that stuff. And let's say that here you're a solid 9, okay? So 20 plus 9 will give you a total of 29. In this case, if I'm talking about you, okay? So if you're a 29, divided by 40 puts you at 73%. Now, let's take that 73% and look at our cash flow chart. If I look on here, it says 70% will put you in that $60,000 to $75,000 range. That's a year, guys. That's not per month. That's per year, right? So what does that mean? That's your potential. That doesn't mean that that's exactly what you're going to make. You could make less, you could make more, but that's right around your range of potential. If that's your skill sets, that's your level there in a power wash matrix. Okay. Now let's give one more example here. Let's say you look across and you say to yourself, okay, I've only washed 8 houses. So right there, you're a 2. And then let's say you're like a 6 on all the other ones. Okay. So 6 times 3 is 18 plus 2, 20. So 20 divided by 40 puts you at 50%. Okay. Let's look at our cash flow chart here in our power wash matrix. Okay. 50%, that means you would make in a range of $35,000 to $50,000 a year. Now, a lot of you guys have actually reached out to me and have asked me, hey, you're an expert in the industry. How much do you think I could make in a certain, given year? Guys, this is pretty accurate. This is going to be pretty accurate for you guys because if you plug these numbers in, here's the trick though. You have to be super realistic with yourself, okay? You have to make sure that you're putting these numbers in correctly, right? Like you think that you're awesome at selling and you don't even have a sales pitch. You don't know anything about the 4 factors of impulse. You don't have any system set up. You're not actually going out there and doing sales pitches. Like if you're awesome at selling, guys, you could go out from scratch and just go out there like cold calling, just knock on doors and pick up jobs for yourself. That's the level of like an 8, a 9, or a 10. So make sure you're super truthful with yourself when you do this. But you guys, this is a huge tool that I am giving you. I am making this part of the business in a box. Remember, guys, the business in a box is like a tree. It's something that is constantly growing. I'm always feeding it, right? I'm always adapting and changing and adding new things to my business. And then I put those things in the business in a box for you. You need to make sure you email me and you get this power wash matrix so you can actually sit down, write it all out. And this is what I want you to do, guys. I got some homework for you, okay? Once you figure all of this out, what your number is. Maybe your number is a 27. So 27 divided by 40 would put you at 68%, which means that you have a potential of $50,000 to $65,000 money making potential per year. So once you know that number, this is what I want you to do. In the comment section of this video, I want you to put your score, but I want you to break down what the pointage was between sales, operations, marketing, and administration. I would love to see that. That would be pretty cool to see what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, so we know as a community what it is that you need to work on. And then you can also email me. Yeah, and make sure you do email me because I can send this out to you guys. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate you coming to the channel and watching this pressure washing advice video. Highly recommend you guys watch the next one as well. Guys, in the next episode, we're going to be doing a Coca-Cola challenge, like a myth. We're going to be busting a myth because I have had dozens of you guys send me emails saying that the best way to get rid of an oil stain is by using Coca-Cola. I got a patio back here on the back of our shop. It's got a bunch of oil stains on it, and we're going to use some Coca-Cola to see if it's true or not that you can remove oil stains with Coca-Cola. So stay tuned for that. And then also, I just mentioned, I talked about a bunch of resources emailing me. My email is in the description of this video. I will send you the Power Wash Matrix, which is something I just recently created. So it just came out hot off the press for you guys. And then also 2 other resources you might be interested in is the marketing blueprint for new guys going into 2025. And then also the pricing guideline. We talked about that on this video. Guys, do not goof up on your pricing. Make sure you laminate that. It's only 2 pages, that PDF. Laminate that, keep that in your truck. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.